also on this Tuesday afternoon, that is kind of a little Rochester region, so a little chilly, but everything's great. I hope you are as well. So today we are just going to spend some time talking about 4 tips to get you ready for 2021. The reason that I wanted to say it like that was because a lot of what we're doing with my thought in this group is intended to help propel us forward, right? To just get us some significant momentum, some skills and tools to really just crush us, really get our goal to accomplish things that we thought we never could have before. But I just want to share a story with you a little bit about how I started out in HBR. So I've gone live with Martha, and so if you want to hear a little bit about my journey, that interview might be a good place to start, but I will try and summarize it very quickly. For myself, I kind of took the lane of a professional woman coming right out of college, and in that I worked to, I don't know, oddly position myself as kind of a supermom person, right? I met an incredible man. I moved away from home, which none of my family did. Moved away from home to pursue a career. Mark and I, got married, and we began a family. And I kind of hit the wall at that point, either through manifestation that I didn't realize, or just, from a God-sent message that I got sent to me. When I knew that I wasn't happy in that situation anymore, when I knew that I wasn't going home to see my kids, that this professional life, this superwoman life that I had picked, quickly began taking over other things that showed up in my life that I wanted to have a higher priority. I knew that I had to have an exit strategy, but I was so deep entrenched into that I really didn't know what the exit strategy is. So along came in my godson. If any of you watch Hallmark movies, it was something that my husband always makes fun of me. It's always that thing that shows up in somebody's life that wakes him up. For me, I did get that message, and it was a hard one, right? I got my butt kicked. I got handed a bout with bone cancer. It's 10 years now. March 24th will be my 10th year of my first surgery. And it took me out of work. It took me out of work for a long time. And it really made me look at my life and the choices that I had made. And really, at the time I was 42, where was I going? The fact that I had cancer immediately limited that life that I thought that I had. And my husband and I began talking, and we knew without a doubt we had to make a change. We had no idea what the change was going to be. We had no idea where it was going to take us. But we knew that we had to make that change. I actually realized I still on Zoom. So I can see Facebook too. I'm going to see if I can do that. I don't know if I can do it while we keep talking, but I think I might be able to. So having said that, we knew that we wanted to make that change, but we didn't know how that change was going to happen. And this is the part where Martha really did a great job pulling out of me what was going on. She in that interview, she was able to kind of help me articulate to you guys what HBR meant to me. But before HBR, I had discovered some things that were my passions that I really wanted to go after. I spent a ton of money, crazy money, and I just was going. And then I found HBR, right? And one of the gifts that I want to leave with you today are, I've learned 4 tips in diving into HBR that I think all of us should take some time to consider before we really dive in. HBR engages in the excitement, adrenaline over the lifetime. Right? For me, I am still in the supermom mode to some extent. So I had to make sure that HBR fit into my life and that my body was ready for it, because I thought that I was exhausted and overwhelmed before. Adding HBR, I think, is the best gift you can give yourself, but it's also something that if you don't do some prep work, you might feel like even more overwhelmed and just, I don't want to say throw in the towel, because I don't know anybody that would ever throw in the towel working with this program and with Martha, but it is something that could really leave you questioning, how am I going to get there?
So here's my 4 tips. First, I think that what you have to do is be accepting but not complacent of what's going on. You have to go through and you have to decide, why am I doing this? Not so much what is my bat signal. That is something that comes from you understanding who you are. You have to know, why am I doing this? And in this case, why do I want to be ready for 2021? Why do I want to go after this? Why do I want to make this a solid priority for me and my family? You have to be able to answer that question for yourself. As you answer that question, you have to say, if that's what I want, am I ready for it? Is my life ready to pull that in? And I will say that all of us want to step up and say, yes, 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 I'm ready. I'm ready to learn, and I am ready to step out of my current situation. But sometimes we have some life maintenance stuff that we need to pay attention to, right? Just to like maybe shoehorn it in somehow. So that's a big question you have to ask yourself. There is, Lydia teaches a class, and it's something I'm learning about. We've done it in our family for a long time, vision boards. You have to understand kind of, where do you want to go with this? I think that in our hearts, we kind of know, where do we want to end up? And that could be, possibly full retirement from your day job. It could be, maybe I just want to get a car payment. Maybe that's tattoo. There's lots of different freedoms that you might tattoo. That you might want to get, but you have to kind of know what that answer is, right? And the biggest reason that you need to come up with these things is you need total buy-in for this, right? You need to own this. This is you. You are making a commitment to yourself, to some degree publicly, right? Because you're in this group and you're going, I am stepping out and I want your support, and I am going to be someone unique and special that is going to serve others at a very high level. And in order to do that, you need to know yourself, right? So some of these things are super important. So as you're determining that vision board, and as you're coming up with all those different things, it is going to posture you. You are going to stand tall, your shoulders back, and you are going to say, I am ready for this in my life because I know why I'm ready for this, right? So after we get done with that, and none of these things take a super long time. It's just something you have to grant yourself grace with. The second thing you want to make sure is that your body is ready for it, right? One of the things that you have to know is that there is a time commitment. There is additional time in your life as you know it now that's going to be part of it. And whenever you undertake something like that, you have to make sure that some of the basic things in your life, like your sleep habits and your eating and exercise, all those different things, that your body is strong and ready. One of the things, I am a runner, that I can akin this to is endurance, right? You have to have endurance. If you are in a place right now in your life where you're tired and you're trying to figure out, geez, how do I just get through my day from a physical perspective? Don't worry about the mental and all those other things yet. We'll talk about those in a couple minutes. But from a physical perspective, that's something that you need to consider. And you just want to make sure that you know, what are the minor modifications I can make to make sure that when I start asking my body to perform at a higher level, either from a focus perspective, from an energy perspective, putting time into things, that it's ready, right? You have to take care of that, because if you don't, and your mind starts moving, and you start getting energized with these ideas, and let's pretend that we know why we're doing this, you don't want to hit a wall. You don't want to end up in that proverbial, I burned the candle at both ends, and now I ended up having to take a forced break. That's kind of what I call it. So you want to make sure your body is ready for this, and that your body has endurance to go through it, right? You are propelling it forward. We're moving ourselves forward, and you want it to be ready for that, right? One of the other things, that's what I call relationship with your body, is you want to know the environment that you're in right now. And I mean that in the most graceful way. But is your environment one? My mom got me this show. What do you think of it? It's from an alpaca store. She got it for me for Christmas. So I love it. It's keeping me nice and warm as I speak with you. So what is your environment, right? And how is your environment affecting you? That was one of the biggest things that I really had to work on for myself. I think I had the body part. I felt good about that with the endurance. And although I knew kind of stepping out of that super mom lane, I had to ask myself some tough questions there. And I go back and I ask myself regularly, um, my whys and what am I doing this all for? But the environment, I want you to think about a couple things. Stress that alone. If you have a significant amount of stress, there might be some cleaning house that you want to consider, right? You might want to say, okay, not that you're stripping things out of your life, but if I am going to go through with endurance, right? Because this is kind of, you're going into something for a duration, for the long haul. My body is ready, but I am really feeling a lot of pressures, then you're going to need to make some changes with that. And part of the first step of that is asking yourself, what are those changes? Going through a simple process of just kind of evaluating what are the things that are good, that are filling me up, what are the things that are not, what are the things from a time management perspective that are time suckers for me, and how can I pivot and navigate through maybe a new way, a new lifestyle, or a new daily routine that will allow me to have the time that I need and not feeling stressed and overwhelmed. Um, your priority focuses, right? We talked a little bit about that. What are the things that are not going to suffer? You certainly want to know that. And kind of who am I with, right? I was listening to Brene Brown this morning, and one of the things that they were talking about is we are an environment, we are the environment we are in. And she was talking about kind of if you are feeling like you want to move yourself forward, you're excited about life, and you are with some folks in your life, whether it be family or friend members, that are in that commiserating place and the woe is me place, that group is probably not going to feed you the way that you need to say, you know what, Deb, put on your big girl pants and let's keep going. They might be the group that will go, you know, that's all bunk. Don't worry about it. Take a week off. Nothing's going to change. That's not good. You don't want to be in that group looking for support and looking for that kind of private structure that you need to move yourself forward. The good thing I can tell you is that when you jump into HBR and you're part of this arena, or just part of creating your own business, within this group, you have that like-minded community. But guys, we cannot live on our phones and social media. We need to be belly to belly. We need those embraces, and we need that eye connecting pieces in order to really touch our hearts. So make sure that you're looking at that environment around you, right? You want to make sure that if there are certain people that you know will be those confidence builders for you, that will be those, come on, big girl pants, go get it. All those different people in your life, you want to know who they are, and you want to kind of share with them, this is what I'm doing. And can you don't need to go through the journey with me, like, because maybe that's not the right journey for you, but can you stand beside me and be there as someone that I could turn my gaze towards and say, you know, I really want this, I still got it. And they'll say, yes, you do. Yes, you do got this. Because guys, you do. You are going to walk out of this saying, I did it. You're going to raise your hands held high. Did anyone ever see the Tiger Woods fist pump? I got it. That's what all of this is waiting for. But your mind, we talked about, that needs to be ready for it. Your body does. And you need to have somebody to turn around and say that to, that's going to go, man, you blew me away. I never knew you could do that, right? There are people that we surround ourselves with that I'm sure you can identify as the ones that are the change makers. There are ones that are the change watchers. They kind of know that it's happening, and maybe that's some of your support structure. They know it's happening. Maybe they're not in the same lane, but they know it's happening. And then there's the ones that turn around and say, when the heck did that happen? How did that happen? That's not the group that we want to be with, right? We don't want that. We don't want that as those that we lean on to say, why didn't you keep me going? And then one of the last things you want to evaluate in your life is fun, right? One of the things that my kids are great for is giving me belly laughs. And guys, that is the best medicine in the world. So I'm kind of laughing to myself because it was funny. So last night I'm making dinner and I'm sitting there, and I knew that my kids were home. And I say that oddly, that probably sounds weird, but that's because my husband picked them up. They had volleyball and basketball practice. So my husband picked them up. I did not. And I know we're kind of all social distancing it at home. So I knew that they had come home. I knew that Hayden was in the house. And picture, so I'm almost 5'8". He is almost 6'3", big guy, right? So you kind of think that you would hear him coming. Well, so he, right, he kind of comes downstairs and I'm cooking dinner and he comes up and he kind of like gooses me from behind and I scream and I turn around and he is crying. We're sitting there laughing. My husband's telling me, "Stop the food," and we forgot that it was. And we were having breakfast for dinner, and it was pancakes, and I put chocolate chips in there for them, so the whatever. So the chocolate chips got dark, and we were laughing. But you need to be able to laugh. You need to be able to have those joyful times in your life. And guys, align yourself with people that laugh, because you I don't know what it does chemically, and I'm sure somebody in this group can teach us, but what I know is it triggers stuff going on in my body that is so much better than the stuff that gets triggered when I'm upset, frustrated, stressed, lonely, depressed, whatever. So think about, do you have fun in your life? And maybe that's something, as you're on this journey, you're going to go, I need to work and get fun in my life, because that feels really good, right? So why am I telling you these 4 things? The 4th step that I can recommend is, as I've gone through this process, I've talked to a lot of friends and I've kind of like jumped in on little things, trying to learn bits and pieces. But putting those 4 things together, I came upon the structure of a program that I loved. It was called 28 Days to Elevate. And I thought, that's kind of intriguing. Just a time to work on yourself. And one of the things that is apparent in our lives, how we do business and how we desire to do our business, is being connected with others through social media and technology and all of those things, right? They are just like piling on top of our lives and taking more time from us. So not only creating boundaries for that, but when you're going through this process, you don't want to do it haphazardly and all disconnected and maybe on a social platform. You want to do it privately, maybe with that support group that we talked about, and in a way that is going to move you forward and get you to the end goal. And the end goal for us, right, is going to be propelling ourselves forward, taking all the tools and resources that Martha is offering to us with such grace, and really showing her, man, you had this idea and watch where I'm going to take it. Because she loves that, guys. And I love that with my team. And I love just doing something like this and having someone turn around and go, man, you turned on a huge light bulb right there in my life. And look where I'm taking and running with it. So do it, man. Go for it, right? So I have this program for you. It's totally free. It's complimentary. No strings attached. It is just a gift that I wanted to give everybody, to say, just take this time. Jump in HBR, do it while you're doing HBR, it doesn't matter. But as you're trying to bring about change in your life and propel yourself forward, do this little part for yourself. How often do we do that? How often do we kind of just say, I'm just going to take moments, guys, not hours, not days, not weeks. I'm just going to take a couple moments for myself. Maybe I'm going to ask myself a question. Maybe I'm going to write down something. Maybe I'm going to pivot a little bit in my diet, and I'm going to try and do this a little better to help me. And then come out at the end going, man, I really did it. That was awesome. And that's what I'm offering you. It's just kind of this free program. It's a guide. What you're going to get, it's actually, I have it in my binder. I know that sounds wonky, but I have this binder and it's everything that I do. And this is my book, right? So this is something that I never thought I would do, but I'm writing a book. But this is then my workbook. And I have it in there. And every day we do one thing. We just take a couple of moments, we do one thing, and they build on top of each other and on top of each other. And some of them you're going to go, I don't need to do that. But I tell you what, I do this every 6 months, and I come out better for it every single time. I come out stronger. I come out more confident. And I changed the previous 6 months. So I learned something new about myself. And I say, whoop, there we go. I pivot, and I keep moving forward. I know they say the straightest line from point A to B, or the shortest distance from A to B is a straight line. But I am here to tell you that when the lights go on, you very rarely take that straight line. You might go, you go here, you go there, you kind of go up. We want to get it as straight as we can. And when you take moments of checking in with yourself, you will straighten that line more than it would have been yourself, and you will shorten the distance to the goal, and you will be screaming, I did it, guys. I want that for you so bad. I did it. So jump on board, right? Just pick up the link. No biggie, no commitments to anything else beyond this, other than you're going to give yourself a shot at really being ready for what's to come in 21, because it's a lot, right? It is mind-blowing. So I hope you have enjoyed my time with you, and I wish you nothing but the very best. I can't wait to watch your journey. I can't wait to see when that light bulb goes on for you, where you took a small idea and ran with it. And I look forward to maybe taking advantage of something that you're offering to us someday that's going to blow my mind, right? Because we're all unique and special and bring something so, so, so needed for the world. So let's do it, right? So have an awesome afternoon, and I'll see you later. Bye-bye.